they've known each other for about 4 decades.
Well, it was 3 years in San Antonio when Agler was Dan Hughes' assistant coach. So they know each other very, very well.
Two of the best this game has ever seen, without question. It's always fun to watch them coach against each other because you're right. One knows what the other one's going to do, so there's no secrets at all when Agler and Hughes get together. Dallas and the Road Blues, and here we go, going left to right on your TV screen. And Agumbawale starts out with it against Jordan, Canada.
And that is the matchup to watch. The two young guards that are both leading their team right now in terms of creating shots for themselves and for others.
Quick step back by Thornton and knocks it in the face of Mercedes Russell. 3-0 Dallas.
Mercedes Russell getting asked to go out and guard on the perimeter. She will have an advantage on the inside, though.
Canada to Sammy Whitcomb over on the wing. Gets a pick from Natasha Howard. Hesitates. Now drives baseline. Kick it back out. Canada has been struggling from out there. Gets hit on the shot. No call. And an offensive rebound by Whitcomb. Whitcomb creates her own space and knocks it down. 3-3.
And Dan Hughes has to love the confidence for Sammy Whitcomb. Just 1 of 9 from the three-point line in the loss to Atlanta, but they need her to score, and that's a good sign to hit that first one.
Thornton, who got Dallas on the board just a moment ago, has it up top. Now Glory Johnson, the veteran, working on Natasha Howard. May have shuffled the feet, but misses the shot anyway. Here comes Whitcomb the other way. Whitcomb attacking. She'll go baseline and feed Canada. Alicia wide open. This is her best shot she has. Right there, the standstill in rhythm 3 ball. She has been knocking it down at a 47% clip this year. Good for 3rd in the league.
Wide open with the penetration from left to right side of the lane by Whitcomb, and then pass from the right to the top, and the defense completely lost, could not get to Clark.
Agumbawale driving in on Canada, gets by Howard as well, but misses the shot. Howard wasn't close enough. Johnson looked like she shuffled again, no call. And with 10 on the shot clock, here comes Alicia Gray. She'll work on Russell. Tough little left-handed runner in the lane.
And that is a hustle bucket for the Dallas Wings. That ball bounced after the shot on the ground, and nobody there to grab the defensive board for Seattle. But Dallas was there.
Clark thinking about it again from the same spot. Won't take it. Sammy from the same spot. She hit the other one, and she snuggles this one in. Sammy Whitcomb has really been struggling. 8 of 35 since being inserted into the starting lineup, but thus far tonight, 2 of 2 from behind the arc.
And sometimes a week off from games, get your legs back, get in some shooting reps. It's just a different thing when you're not having to scout.
Almost 3 steals a game for that young lady right there. Jordan Canada, look out, another 3 on the way. 3 for 3, and it's 12-5 Storm.
What a move in the open floor by Jordan Canada. Behind the back, losing the defense and kicking it to the shooter who's hot, Sammy Whitcomb.
This is where she played her college basketball at the University of Washington. She's going back to glory days right now. There's the start of the show so far. 9 points in just 2.5 minutes of action, and Sammy Whitcomb has already tied her season high in made threes as she has knocked down 3 of them. And the Seattle Storm Elites have not taken a 2-point shot. They have not taken a free throw. They are 4 for 5 from 3-point range thus far.
Well, that's where you get the most production. Keep going to it when you're hot. Jordan Canada losing the defense in the open floor, which led to the wide open Sammy Whitcomb 3, and you can see how fired up she is. Sometimes as a shooter, the ball just feels really good for whatever reason. And Sammy, in the last game, 1 of 9. That's uncharacteristic. She is a shooter, and that's what she's here to do on this team. And it's great to see first pass of the game to her. She let it fly. She gets it to go. Watch out. We saw her 2 seasons ago hit 6 threes in a half versus New York, where she's got 3 threes in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So she's a player that can get absolutely white hot.
She could tie or break her own WNBA record, she said in that game. It's very, very possible. Kayla Davis into the game for the first time. And Sammy gets a hand on that skip pass over the top, out of bounds. It'll be the basketball belonging to the Wings with 10 seconds left. How about our Carter Super keys of the game?
Well, second champ points for Dallas are huge for their offense. They lead the league in rebounding on the offensive end. They got to get points in that area. 3-point makes, well, Seattle's got to love that right now. They get out to a hot start, 4 of 5 early in this one. And the third one is Enrique versus Canada, the 2 young guards. Who's going to be better for their team?
Sammy Whitcomb got a hand on Plaisance there, and then another hand in on the basketball. And even though she didn't get the steal, she forced the turnover on the shot clock violation.
Well, if you're wondering, who's this Sammy Whitcomb? Well, she's been moved into the starting lineup with the loss of Jewel Lloyd. She was Lloyd's backup and played a ton of minutes in the finals last year and was really productive. And with Jewel Lloyd out with an ankle injury, Sammy Whitcomb has gone in and had to be that scoring threat. And for her, as a third-year player in the league, she came in as a rookie at the age of 28. She's right now really getting her first opportunity to be a 30-minute per game player.
The first 2-point attempt of the game by Mercedes Russell, but obviously it won't count as a 2-point attempt because she was fouled on the play, and she will get the first free throw attempt, which she knocks down.
Mercedes Russell had 3 games in a row at double figures, 19 points, a career high, and then last game versus Atlanta, just 2 points. So she's a player that you want to get her involved in the offense, get her some touches. Dan Hughes really liked the matchup with her today on the block.
Kayla Davis, a very versatile athletic guard, throws it away, and guess who? Sammy Whitcomb with the steal. Here's Howard spinning, fading, and hitting. Natasha Howard. There's your first field goal of the game. That wasn't a 3 by the Seattle Storm.
And it might have been Natasha's first touch of the game, and she's been so active. 20 points in the last game. The All-Star for the first time, going to be heading to Vegas for the festivities coming up shortly.
Well, this does look like a Seattle team that's had a week off to rest because they look as fresh as I've seen them all season long. Glory Johnson short on that one, and it goes out of bounds to be Seattle ball. They are nursing a 9-0 run right now to get up by 10.
They jumped out 11-0 lead against Atlanta and then blew that lead and lost the game to the Dream. They came in and played really well here at Alaska Airlines Arena. I think it'll be curious to see for them if they learned their lesson. They do look really sharp here to begin this quarter, though.
Alicia Clark got a wide open lane to the hoop, but a little strong off the glass.
For Dallas on the road, a place that they have struggled mightily. It's been 363 days since they got a road win. You wonder, getting it down early, if they start to, all right, here we go again, same old thing.
Winless on the road this season, as Elise mentioned. And here's Natasha Howard with good post-up position, turns, can't make the shot, but she'll go to the line.
Winless on the road this season for the Wings. Winless, stretching back 13 games to last season on July 14th. It has been the road unkind for the Dallas Wings.
That's the second early post-up we've seen. We saw one from Russell, now we've seen one from Howard. Is that game plan, or is that just something that they're seeing in that particular flow of the play?
Well, Dan Hughes put this team through kind of an offensive resurgence. There's no Jewel Lloyd, there's no Sue Bird, there's no Brianna Stewart. They played the whole season without Stewie and without Bird, but Jewel Lloyd was lost, and it was game after game after game. He finally had some time to get this team into an offensive rhythm with a full week between games, and you can tell right now, early offense to the post or really work the shot clock.
Nice runner there by Alicia Gray. She's got 4 points. She had 16 the last time she faced Seattle back last June. Clark looking for Whitcomb off the screen, trying to feed the hot hand. Low pass saved by Natasha Howard, tipped around, going to go out of bounds. It'll be Dallas basketball. That's the first turnover by Seattle. They have really played pretty close to flawless basketball, shooting 71%, 80 from three-point range at 4 of 5, and that's their first turnover.
And a little thing by Sammy Whitcomb. She went up to Natasha Howard and said, "That's my bad." It was a pass that was just off target, and so Natasha had to throw it over her head, lost her balance. And the little thing as a teammate that your other players appreciate. That's my fault. I'll take the blame. I'll get you next time.
Here's the turnaround jump shot and knocked down. Nicely done there with the turnaround jumper. That's Monty McGee. Backing in is Howard, putting it off the glass and up and in. Natasha Howard making it 19-9.
Howard has had so many matchups this season where she is undersized by 3, 4, 5 inches. That time on the box, she had the advantage, and that looked easy for Howard.
And another steal for Seattle. 4th turnover of the game for the Dallas Wings. And here comes Canada. Oh, nice no-look pass inside, and they finish there by Mercedes. The guard play for the Storm tonight on both ends of the floor has been exquisite.
Jordan Canada flipping that little razzle-dazzle down to Mercedes Russell, who was ready.
Another steal. Look at this. Up to Canada. She's going to beat everybody to the rack and lay it up and in. And Brian Hager can just stand with his hands in his pocket in disbelief right now as the Storm have put up 23 points in 6.5 minutes. And that is the 5th turnover.
Oh, this defense loves to break into the lane and go the other direction. Jordan Canada, Natasha Howard getting their hands on balls. Sammy Whitcomb as well.
High low pass inside and another steal. Forced by Whitcomb, picked up by Canada. Seattle now is assisted on 7 of 8 made field goals. That one's not assisted, but she's going to go to the free throw line as Canada knocks herself into the backboard stanchion there.
Look at that strip by Whitcomb. Quick hands and then the push ahead. Just throwing it up ahead and letting Jordan Canada use her speed. One of the fastest players in the league. And you can't really see how tricky the look was inside to Mercedes Russell, but you see the result. A wide open look for her fellow second-year player in this league, Mercedes Russell.
That's 2 fouls now on Glory Johnson. First one is up and good by Jordan Canada. It's good to see both these guards, Elise, for Seattle getting their offensive confidence back, because both Whitcomb and Jordan Canada, who have been relied on to score without Jewel Lloyd in there, and they really haven't been able to do it the last 3 games.
Sammy has struggled shooting the basketball from deep. Jordan's been pretty consistent. She's been in double figures 3 games in a row. The first game that she came back from her knee injury took her a while to get going, but she is in a new role trying to create scoring for herself and not just for other players. And so she's on that path of doing that game in and game out.
You're right. I would say from 2-point range, definitely. Yeah, she struggled with the threes and had one that would have won the game last week and went off the mark. But you're exactly right. In transition, getting the basket, she has done a pretty nice job. Plaisance inside. Stafford puts it up and in. That's 4 for Imani McGee-Stafford. Howard inside. Great pass and even better position by Mercedes Russell. Mercedes was a disappearing act. She just never got touches in the last game. And this time in the first quarter, she's all over the place. And here's another steal by the Storm guards. Canada looking, and now firing. They're just going to leave her open, as her jump shot has not been clean this season, and that's why they're leaving her open on that transition. They do not want her to get into the lane and laying it up and in.
Dallas right now is completely confused by the Storm's trapping defense. They have thrown it away way too often, and another turnover forced and then a foul.
That is 8 turnovers, and Seattle thus far in the first 7 has scored 12 points. I mean, Seattle only scores about 12 points a game off opponents' turnovers. They have 12 in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's defense leading to offense. This team, without their 3 big stars, Lloyd, Bird, and Stewie, are trying to find that offensive rhythm. They're trying to find an identity on offense. How do we put points up consistently? And it has been through their defense. This is one of the best defensive teams in the league. Without question, they force more steals than anybody in the league. And when you get steals and it's live ball, you get a lot of good-looking shots at the other end.
Shavonte Zealous into the game for the first time for Seattle. She has it off the feed, flips it up and in, and why not? Everything else going in for the Seattle Storm. They are 10 of 13 and have 9 assists.
And the Dallas Wings there just completely botched their rotation defensively. Quick double team on the block to Clark, and one pass to Zealous. She's wide open from 10 feet away.
Plaisance nearly throws it away as the overplay there for Alicia Clark. And is that just kind of like sharks to bloodied waters? When you see your teammates rip and run, you just play even tougher on defense.
Well, I think they understand that right now, denying the wing, Dallas is not adjusted. They're getting well off screens. They're doing all the things right now to be active.
Good to see Kalina Mosqueda-Lewis, as she was sidelined for a while with an ankle injury, but she is back now and on the floor. And you talk about another great three-point shooter, and Seattle is 4 of 5 thus far from 3, and they bring in a shooter like Mosqueda-Lewis off the bench.
Well, Mosqueda-Lewis is a shooter. She is one of the purest shooters in the world. When she gets her feet set and gets a clean look, it is money. Rolled her ankle, missed some time, and without Stewie and without Bird and without Jewel Lloyd, this team is dramatically different from the three-point line. And when you added the injury to Helena, it was a scary proposition.
Kayla Davis had to throw it up as there was one on the shot clock, and the ball goes out of bounds. It would be Seattle basketball with about 15 left to go in what has been, for these fans here at Alaska Airlines Arena, an extremely entertaining first 10 minutes.
Now 29 points on the board, and there's still a minute and change to go in the first quarter of play. An excellent offensive burst and defensively leading it out to the score.
Inside is Russell. Seattle's got 31 on the board. They need 2 more to tie their highest scoring quarter of the season. That's any quarter, not just the first quarter. Davis rolling to the lane. Nice drive there by Kayla Davis. Zealous has it, looking inside for Clark. Instead, skips it to Russell. Russell's feeling confident. That one's short, though. Megan Gustafson pulls down the rebound. Bawale surveying, double team. Into the corner, 3 ball on the way, a little strong. Crystal Langhorn, who just checked in, pulls that one down. Skata Lewis has it. Looks, fires, and it hits. There's that pure shot. And Seattle has matched their highest scoring output of any quarter this season.
And the Storm have completely denied Arike Ogunbowale a chance to be in this game. 1 shot, 0 buckets so far in this one.
3 seconds left for Davis. Little strong. Another rebound by Seattle. The most complete quarter of basketball we have seen all season long by the Seattle Storm. The fans are up. And why not? They are up by 20, 33-13. Second quarter coming up next. Storm fans, join us for the Kaiser Permanente free community practice hosted by the city of SeaTac and Seattle Southside Regional Tourism Authority. Tyee High School and SeaTac on July 30th at 5:30. Meet the players, win prizes, and more. Visit stormbasketball.com/community practice to learn more. Well, look who has graced us with her presence.
Reno Bird, 2020.
Is there a more recognizable face in the world of sports over the last month than that young lady on the right, Megan Rapinoe, World Cup superstar? With the mayor of Seattle there, Jenny Durkin, and of course with Sue Bird as well. And there's the pose. There's the pose we were waiting for.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Live it up.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
What a star. Oh, USA on the chant.
So here in Seattle, the fans have been treated to a 33-point quarter, and then they get to see Megan Rapinoe in her first public appearance here in her home, the Pacific Northwest.
That is Brianna Stewart back in town. She's been rehabbing down in California, and it is awesome. So not only have Megan Rapinoe in the house, 2-time World Cup champ, but the WNBA champ a year ago, Brianna Stewart getting healthy. And of course, Sue Bird made the trip over to France to cheer on Megan. She's got a smiley face on. Good reason to be happy.
Elise, the Storm went 12 of 16. They had 10 assists. They had 1 turnover and no fouls committed. I mean, literally, you talk about a perfect game in baseball. That was pretty dang close to a perfect quarter they just pitched.
Absolutely. The energy is what really stood out to me. That defense came out on fire and forced so many turnovers.
Zealous can't get it to go. Natasha Howard tries to keep it alive, but it'll be Dallas basketball. Now, the last time Seattle scored 33 and a quarter wasn't long ago. 2 weeks ago against Chicago, they scored 33, gave up 21, so they're up by 12. Only won that game by 3. Now, it was just a 12-point lead. This is a 20-point lead, but you still got 30 minutes of basketball left and plenty of time for Dallas. As you mentioned before, the Atlanta game, Seattle's up 11-0 lost that game.
Good athleticism there by Thornton to stop and pop over the top of the knee.
Blake Dietrich into the game for the first time for the Storm. She'll go up against Ogunbowale.
Dan Hughes said she had a really good week of practice. She was not here in training camp. He said she really learned what they need offensively.
Back iron for Dietrich there. She has yet to hit a field goal for the Storm. Kincaid. Gumbawale directing traffic over to Alicia Gray. Gets a screen right to left with 8 on the shot clock. Now Plaisance double teamed and throws it away. Boy, you're right. That double team causing all sorts of problems.
And once again, the rotation was so quick. Dallas is slow to read where that next pass needs to be.
Howard baseline. She likes the shot. Oh, can't get it to go. Man, that was deep in the well.
6 points for Natasha Howard early in a quarter where they put plus 30 on the board. It's nice to see the balance. Nobody with more than 9 points and everybody except for one player scoring.
Timeout on the floor. 33-15 our score. Brian Hagler wants to talk about it. Be back right after this. You can join the conversation and engage with the Seattle Storm on Twitter and Instagram and like the Seattle Storm on Facebook. Get the inside scoop on Storm basketball news, promos, and contests all season long. Dick Fain, Elise Woodward back with you in Seattle, Washington. It's been all Seattle Storm thus far. They lead 33-15. Now, Elise, Brian Hagler took a timeout there just a minute 30 seconds into the second quarter. What do you think he was telling his team there?
Well, I just think he needs to have the Wings match the energy level of Seattle, and that includes mentally. Right now on offense, the double team is coming quickly, and they're not adjusting. They're not seeing the right read. They have to ball fake or look away with their eyes, but they need to be more deceptive with the next move after the double team comes. Like right here.
There's the double team. They did get it through to Johnson. Skip past to Plaisance. 10 seconds on the shot clock. That's well short. 2 feet short on the 3 ball there. Mosqueda Lewis has it. Driving baseline on Plaisance. She'll go up and under. Now back to Zealous, who attacks. Kick back. Look out. 3 ball corner pocket. No.
The entire Storm bench standing up.
And look at it.
Before she ever got the ball, that's her spot, that corner pocket.
Here's Thornton trying her hand. No. Long rebound. Seattle's off to the races. 3-on-2 break the other way. Here comes Canada. She'll circle back around and get it back to Mosqueda Lewis. High post Langhorn. Canada reset. 10 on the shot clock. Going left, firing, and that one's well short. She's not a confident jump shooter right now, Jordan Canada. She's confident in every other part of her game, just not the jumper. She's certainly comfortable on this end of the floor, though, that's for sure. She leads the WNBA in steals at almost 3 a game. 4 on the shot clock. Gray, the leaner again. She's hit a couple of those. This one's off the mark. Natasha Howard brings it down.
There's not a lot of ball movement for the Wings on that possession.
Here's a good look, top of the circle. That one goes down. Pure as silk right there.
And that is KYP, know your personnel.
Yeah.
Why is Kalina Mosqueda Lewis wide open? If you're a Dallas Wings defender, that's the one player you do not leave open at the 3-point line.
Biggest lead of the game for Seattle, 21. Gray's got a good look at a driving layup and misses. Another board for Seattle. Kick it to the corner. This one's got to go down, right? She missed the last one from here. You're not going to miss 2 of those in a row from that spot, that's for sure.
Made more threes than anyone in the history of college women's basketball in her time at UConn, and she is just deadly.
Mosqueda Lewis with 8. Johnson chucking it from deep, and it goes down. Glory Johnson, and they were just 1 of 6 from 3-point range. That's really the difference in the game. 1 of 6 versus 6 of 9 from 3-point range.
This Dallas Wings team is the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, under 30% as a team. And if they're going to give up this many threes to Seattle, they are going to face a really tough night.
Mosqueda Lewis feeling it again, banging it again. They're going to call it a long 2. 41-18 and double figures already for KML.
Jewel Lloyd's mom loving it. Coming out to her support her daughter and this team, even though Jewel, who was named an All-Star, can't go yet with that ankle injury.
And 3 ball on the other end, knocking it down. Brooke McCarty-Williams, the rookie. But check that, Alicia Gray. Natasha Howard trying her hand behind the arc. not exactly her shot, although, Elise, she has been hitting the ball, shooting pretty well the last couple games from three-point range. In fact, 7 of 16 from the last 5 games from 3. And there's Brian Agler back in Seattle. 7 very successful seasons with the Seattle Storm, including 6 consecutive playoff appearances, capping it off with the greatest playoff run in the history of this league. You can't get any greater than perfection, never losing a game in the entire playoffs, 7-0.
Yeah, one of the best, remember, his time with the Columbus Quest in the ABL and 2 world titles in the WNBA, the 10 title with the Storm and then the 16 title with the Los Angeles Sparks. Only player on the Storm roster that he coached significantly that's active today is Alicia Clark. And
Wickham slip screening as Crystal Langhorne who puts it up and in. That was pretty.
And a great story that he had about Alicia Clark. Dan Hughes drafted Alicia Clark to San Antonio and then cut her. And then brought her back and cut her again. And Brian Agler said, hey, come to Seattle Storm training camp. And it was down to her and another player. And he's like, you know what, I like the other player. And Jenny Busick convinced him to keep Alicia Clark. And here she is now. And absolutely one of the best players in Storm history, Alicia Clark.
Yeah, she was named to the All-20th anniversary team. Foul on Seattle. We have not seen many of those. In fact, that is the first personal foul committed by the Storm tonight. With all those pickpockets and all those steals, not one time did they get caught for a foul.
And they have been very clean, very active, fresh legs after a week off, and you can see it.
We have learned this about Dan Hughes. You give him a few days without games just to practice and drill his team, they inevitably come out and look maybe not this good in game 1 after the break, but they usually win that game after a nice long 4 or 5 day stretch.
Well, the travel and the grind and the scouting reports of each opponent in each game, so much goes into what the particular opponent on the night presents to you. You go over that in practice. When you actually have practices just to get better on your game, it can make a big difference.
Whistle the foul underneath on Plaisance against Miss Mercedes Russell. That's the first team foul on Dallas. So Alicia Clark to inbound. Free throw line extended on the near side. Canada looking for Wickham in the corner. That's been a money spot for Seattle tonight. Not quite. Alicia Clark gets the offensive board.
And that's what Brian Agler was talking about, Alicia Clark, before the game. She set a beautiful pick for Sammy Wickham to get space out for an open look from 3. Sammy misses, and Alicia Clark's there for the rebound. The intangible things, the little things that sometimes go unnoticed. Alicia Clark has earned a spot in this roster and in the starting lineup because of all those things, year after year, game after game, day after day, where she's a great defender. She's a good facilitator. She's learned to shoot. She's one of the best three-point shooters percentage-wise right now in the game, and it's a testament to just keeping every day that hard work level.
The pause was to adjust the shot clock to 8. It's down to 3 now, and here's Natasha Howard's got to get it up, and she does from top of the circle, no. And Dallas, a very unusual fast break opportunity for them tonight, and they take advantage of it. Wow, Glory Johnson wanted the and one, didn't get it, but a great athletic move there by Glory, the veteran.
Yeah, Natasha Howard going with 2 hands, getting in the way, good body control to get up, but Glory Johnson, so athletic, just leaping over the top of her to score.
A foul on the pass off there. Wickham was waiting for the call, and she finally got it. But a nice pass, catch, and finish.
When you don't turn the ball over, you don't get these open opportunities with space. And Dallas struggled to score in the half court against Seattle's defense. That time they get out on the run after the turnover, and Glory Johnson, beautiful move.
Wickham down to Russell, loses handle of it. Nearly turns it over, but she goes and grabs it. 4 on the shot clock. Got to get rid of it. That's a good person to get rid of it too. Wickham, though, can't find iron. If she just found iron, you'd think a yellow jersey might grab it because their offensive rebounding has been fantastic thus far in this game. We got a timeout on the floor. 2:59 left in the first half. Storm by 18. Stats, rosters, and standings. You can even play an interactive player pick game that earns you points towards cool prizes like Storm autograph swag, a one-night stay, and $50 towards restaurants at the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort and more. You can find out on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, or by searching Seattle Storm. take a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. You've got Vegas at Atlanta. That should be a good one at 3 o'clock Eastern time coming up on Sunday, July the 14th. And then on Wednesday the 17th, the Phoenix Mercury will host these Dallas Wings at 3:30 Eastern time. Dick Fain, Elise Woodward with you here in Seattle. And it's been all storm thus far, shooting 55%, 16 of 29. A cool 50% from three-point range, 6 of 12. And 83% from the free throw line. And their defense has been stellar, forcing 9 turnovers, 14 points off those turnovers so far for Seattle. That's really been the story of the basketball game, is their defense setting them up with those easy opportunities in the first quarter. Too much action. Sammy Whitcomb fighting through screens and trying to catch up to Alicia Gray there on the wing. So Kayla Davis will inbound with the much smaller Jordan Canada guarding her. It's going to be tough for Canada guarding a guard the size of Davis. I mean, she is a physical specimen playing point right now.
Jordan Canada has to use that speed versus the strength of Davis.
Crossover dribble, step back, and hit it. My goodness.
Dory Johnson missed 5 games. Playing Eurobasket play over Montenegro. And she has a passport. Just kind of getting reacclimated here with Dallas.
Whitcomb, to the sliding Natasha Howard. May have shuffled there, but no call. She's going to get it to go. Left in the first half for Kayla Davis. Around the screen from Plaisance, accelerates into the lane. Looked like she walked to it. We've seen about 4 or 5 of those from both teams tonight, and the shuffle is being let go on both sides by the officials tonight. The jump stop, and there's Jordan Canada getting into the lane and one. That is what she does best, just kind of wiggling through traffic.
She hits the floor more than any other player in the league. She is just 5'6", and right here just using every angle she can get as an undersized player in the lane to take contact, sometimes just to get an angle to get the ball off. But she is not scared to lay her body out.
And sometimes I think she does it to get the call. And she might have succeeded in doing that there, because I'm not sure there was a lot of contact after the shot there. 48-27, a 21-point Seattle lead. Here's Gray with it. Bounce past Glory. She's been very solid for Dallas tonight offensively. No good there. Monty Stafford knocks it back in.
Yeah, that is the Dallas offense right there. That is what they have not been able to do well. Hit the offensive board. They pass it to the rim sometimes and just come down with the board to get production offensively because they don't shoot it that well.
Whitcomb out of Canada. 10 on the shot clock. Here comes Natasha Howard, freeing up the side. Canada, back to Howard. One extra pass. There it is. You were looking for it. Just need that one extra pass, and they got it. An even 50 for Seattle. Wow, 50-29.
What a game so far for this squad on both ends.
Ooh, almost a steal there. Cardi Williams now down low. Jump shot. Tipping around, no. And Sammy Whitcomb, energetic as always, pulling down that rebound. Seattle's highest scoring first half of the year against Chicago. They had 51. Can they eclipse that on this possession? No, they cannot. Ball stolen away. Ooh, big screen. And Jordan Canada gets absolutely blasted on that far side. I don't think it was... They call it a legal screen there? I don't know. It should be. Yeah, hip check. Yeah, that's hip check screen there. And boy, oh boy, Canada took the brunt of the back of Amani McGee Stafford. 5-second differential here on the game and shot clock. Canada's going to take a timeout. We'll see if it's a full or a 20. It is a full timeout. 50-29. 25.9 left to go, and Jordan Canada kind of shaking the bees out there. And here's what she's done this season, really being forced to take over the starting point guard role as Sue Bird underwent that surgery at the beginning of the season, and she's done a fine job. Really, the only thing she hasn't done well is shoot the basketball from the outside. Other than that, 9 points per game. You've got the assists and rebounds there, 2.5 steals per game, leading the WNBA, and has been heating up offensively in double figures each of the last 4 games. And she's one off her season high in assists already today with 6, as she is 2 of 5 today with 7 points and 6 assists, and just playing with a ton of confidence. You'll see her here working against Kayla Davis, and Kayla kind of bit on the jump shot, and that's something that obviously Brian Agler will talk to her and talk to the rest of that Dallas team about at halftime. It's like, hey, you can't let Jordin Canada beat you going to the rim. Any fake that she has, like she's faking to pull up, you cannot bite on that. You have to let her shoot that 16, 17-footer and make her prove to you that she can hit. Because that's the only one area in her game that she has not been able to show consistently that she's able to do. If you bite on that head fake and move up towards her at the elbow, forget about it. She is going to kill you going to the rim. Here she is here. Again, 5-second differential in game and shot. Working on McCarty Williams. Big screen coming. She goes right to left. Now to Whitcomb. 4 in the shot clock. Step back 3. That's off the back iron. Tipped around. Russell tries to get it. Clark has it with 4 seconds left. Throws it up, and there is Mercedes Russell with 0.7 left. And that is just the way it is gone for the Seattle Storm. That was some luck there, but they have done it with skill and with hustle in the first half, just simply outworking Dallas. 52-29 our score. Here's Elise Woodward with Dan Hughes.
All right, Coach, I'll tell you what a half. 52 points on the board. That last play really kind of said it all about the half. Energy and effort. What'd you really like?
Well, we had 7 steals the first quarter, and it enabled us to play out of our defense. You know, we're shooting the ball well, but we're getting things in transition, which I think is important for this team.
Defensively, you were so active. You mentioned the steals. The double team is so quick today, and it doesn't feel like Dallas has reacted well at all. Do you expect any kind of changes, or what do you want to see in the second half defensively?
They've spent a lot of time trying to get mismatches with some of our posts, but our posts, if they'll move their feet well, we're going to be okay. But they're obviously going to be talking about what went on, but we've just got to do a good job of getting the loose ball, playing out of our transition, you know, and continuing to find open shooters just like we did.
Well, great half. Thanks for your time, Coach. Send it back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Elise. The 52 points for the Seattle Storm, the highest scoring half this season, and playing some good defense as well. Up 23. Halftime stats and highlights coming up next. This is Storm Basketball.
Halftime is presented by Symetra, the official life insurance partner of the Seattle Storm, and brought to you in part by Swedish, the official medical care team of the Seattle Storm. Health for good. Supported by Carter Subaru, planning a forest one test drive at a time. In Shoreline, Ballard, and at CarterSubaru.com. And Bank of America, presenting sponsor of Special Olympics Night.
Fans are on their feet here in Seattle, getting set for second half action. 52-29 our score. Seattle leading by 23. Their biggest lead of the first half was 24. And they will have the basketball to start things off here. Here's Russell. Now to Wick. Great catch by Mercedes Russell. No good on the shot. Rebounded by McGee Stafford. Agumba Wallet, who has been silent in the first half. A lot of contact on both sides there, both by Arike and then inside by Seattle. As you see the scores on the ticker down low. Connecticut beating Phoenix tonight, 79-64. DeWanna Bonner, 20 points for Phoenix. Alyssa Thomas, 20 points for Connecticut. Chicago scored 99 tonight, 99-83 over New York. Courtney Vandersloot, Pacific Northwest zone, 17 points and 12 assists. second most assists in a WNBA game this season, and the second time that she has gone to 12 assists thus far. Our own Jordan Canada here in this game, Elise, is halfway to 12 assists with her 6 in the first half.
The first 2 points of the game for Arike Ogunbowale, held scoreless in the first half. She is Dallas's leading scorer this season at 14 a game, so Seattle really managed to take her out with those quick double teams.
Howard the floater, not really her best shot. Here's Ogunbowale the other way, and there's Jordan Canada tipping it out of her hands. Really frustrating Arike tonight.
Yeah, just poking it away from behind, using that cat-like quickness.
Howard back to Canada now. Jordan 2 of 5 from the field. Step back, finds Howard inside. Some contact before she goes up, or will they say a 2-shot foul? And it will be 2.
Canada doing a nice job setting this up. Screening, they went behind the screen, so Natasha Howard sets another screen on ball for Canada, and by that time she was so deep in the lane, Jordan Canada flipped it over to her, and Natasha gets fouled. Good offense there, good rhythm with those the two-player game. Congratulations to Natasha, being named to the All-Star team for the first time. Well deserved, and of course, Jewell Loyd getting her second appearance in the All-Star game. There she is right there. Look at on cue. She's just smiling at the camera. I mean, Jewell's great. Star quality for the All-Star. That's right. No, she definitely's got that. Let's just hope that she gets back healthy and is able to play in that game. In and out there. Mercedes Russell just longer than anybody else on the floor. How about this pass over the top? Oh, that would have been beautiful if Natasha could have caught that. Sammy Wickham threw a good ball there, and Sammy wanted a call. She wanted defensive pass interference on that one. It was a great idea. It was really difficult to execute that pass. Ogunbowale, Plaisance over the top, no good. And again, Mercedes Russell just pulling that rebound down. That is number 6. How about Mercedes tonight? 11.6 rebounds, make it 13. Gets the rebound, runs the floor. The biggest player on the floor is out hustling everybody. Way to run, Russell, from one end to the other, beating the defense. And I'm telling you, great hands while she's moving full speed ahead. That is impressive for a center. Mercedes Russell doing some serious damage, leads all scorers with 13, and Brian Agler wants to talk about it. His team right now down 24. Hey fans, this season every free throw a Storm player makes, Alaska Airlines donates 2,000 miles to the Alaska Airlines for Youth Fund. And currently the Storm are at 209 free throws, bringing the total miles donated to 418,000. Check out storm.WNBA.com/free throws for the future for more information. Jordan Canada, Natasha Howard, and the Seattle Storm doing some serious damage tonight to Dallas, who came in off a big win. And, you know, that happens sometimes. You go on the road off a big win, and you're facing a team at home that has played really their worst stretch of basketball all season long. You see these happen in every sport, don't you? Yeah, I just think Seattle is better than what they've played the last few games, and a week of practice has done them well. And Dallas has become a different team. They started 0-5, but have been very good over the last 9 games, 5-4. But they do not look in rhythm today whatsoever. And there's Arike Ogunbowale's first field goal. It comes at the 7:45 mark in the third quarter. On the back dribble for Howard. Oh, step through move, and a gorgeous one. Wow. That was the ability to finish with her left hand with that big stride. Really impressive. There's the double that's just been swarming Ogunbowale all day long. Gets tipped around, and it'll be Dallas basketball. Arike Ogunbowale taking on such a heavy offensive load as a rookie. So many injuries for Dallas. Skylar Diggins-Smith out. Taylor Hill out with a knee injury. Azurá Stevens out with a foot injury. Isabella Harrison out with a concussion. She is really right now the go-to player as a rookie. She's leading this team in scoring, and it is tough. You got lessons to learn coming in this league.
Canada's quick hands again, forcing that turnover. Seattle on the push again. You got Sammy in the corner, setting up. Look out! Boom! Sammy Whitcomb knocks that other one down. 4 of 7 from three-point range. She's got 12 points, and Canada has her season high 8 assists.
Yeah, Canada has really been finding players when they are ready to shoot it. She's waiting for Sammy to get her feet set, and when Sammy gets her feet set with her shoulders square, she's money.
Inside, off the glass and in. Alicia Gray makes it 60-35. Seattle had what was their biggest lead of the game at 27.
3 players in double figures for Seattle, none so far for Dallas.
Howard pump fakes a 3, tries to go by Glory Johnson, draws contact, and on nights like this, that goes down. How about Natasha Howard? You would like some of those to go down in those games where they were struggling offensively, but that's not the way it works in basketball, does it?
Well, sometimes the ball will be so soft it rolls around and out. This time she's just taking contact, and this is why when you take contact and you hear that whistle, you throw it up to the rim because you never know when it's going to go down and you're going to get lucky. And that time, Natasha Howard getting the three-point play.
Third foul on McGee Stafford. The 2 All-Stars over on the sidelines, loving that. You got 4 Storm players in double figures, and there's almost another pick right there by Sammy Whitcomb. Howard with 14, Russell with 13, Whitcomb with 12, Mosqueda Lewis with 10, and then there's Jordan Canada, who's just been the maestro out there with 7 points and 8 assists, and there's another pick. You can see that coming. That was like a quarterback late over the middle. And a foul on Agumbawale. Even that one goes down, but it doesn't count. Even Canada's hitting the threes after the whistle there.
Yeah, you go back to the defensive end of the floor, and another steal. This time by the big Mercedes Russell, just getting up and reading the ball.
Seattle with 20 points off of 13 turnovers. Let's see if they can make it 22 or 23 here. Nice move to get it to Howard. Back out Whitcomb. Thinks about it. Really being hounded on the three-point arc, and she turns it over this time. Agumbawale behind the back dribble. Gets by Howard. A good foul on Natasha to prevent any further damage on this possession. 63-35. A new biggest lead of the game for Seattle at 28. Second foul on Natasha.
Agumbawale, who's done so many great things since coming in this league. Rookie of the month for June. You know, she started out averaging 7 points a game in her first 4 games, and since that time she's averaged 17 points per game. Figured it out. She's figured it out quicker than almost all rookies. She is really having herself a first year, and right there on cue.
She knew you were talking about her right there. She said, yeah. I'll show you that Elise knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, Brian Agler before the game said she just creates her own shot. She's got a good feel for getting a look off, and she's going to be a good one.
Clark gets the 3 goggles out and knocks that one down. She's 2 of 2 from behind the arc with 6 points.
Yeah, this Seattle Storm team has shot the ball well from start of the game up until right now.
Let's see if Canada decides to push off that turnover. Dallas coughing it up for the 14th time. Agumbawale all over Alicia Clark. 12 on the shot clock. Howard trying to create. It's Canada with 5. She'll fire from 18. Off the back iron. Tipped around. And it's Dallas basketball. Agumbawale on the push. Gives it off Gray. That one's nicely done. That was probably the best fast break we've seen all day from Dallas.
Might be the only one. There was one in the first half when Glory Johnson scored over Natasha Howard. They just have not had the ability to rebound and run against this Seattle team, but that was really well executed. Beautiful pass by Agumbawale.
You named the only 2 fast break buckets. They have 4 points off the break. That one's kicked out of bounds. It'll be Seattle ball with 9 on the shot clock, and another Storm player that's been red hot comes into the game. Melina Mosqueda Lewis to replace Sammy Whitcomb. Kayla Davis will come in as well. McCarty Williams will go to the bench. Canada surveys. Tries to force it in. Gets her own pass back because it was touched. Canada drives in all the way to the lane. Rolls it up and falls down again and gets it to go.
Oh, near nearly a pick right there. Her body control in the air and how she can contort and somehow get around the bigger defenders is really special.
Johnson working on Russell. Inside out. Davis, extra pass. Agumbawale. There's her second consecutive three ball. 68-43.
Yeah, Agumbawale knew she better bring it in the second half. She's been in double figures all but 2 games this season. The third is when she hurt her ankle, rolled it, and didn't get to finish the game. But she is a player that has scored the basketball consistently and shut out the first half, come alive here in the second.
She's got 10 right now. There's Jordan Canada, who, as we mentioned, 4 of 24 from three-point range before knocking that shot down.
And that's a big shot for her. It may be here in a game where they have a big lead, but you've got to get some confidence in Canada's deep, from her deep shooting.
Well, Seattle was humbled last week with 3 straight losses, and that one to Atlanta after leading 11-0. They got outscored 77-55 the rest of the way, and just, I mean, it was really, without question, the worst 3 quarters in a row by the Seattle Storm all season long. And they have followed that up with their best, maybe their best 3 quarters of basketball. Certainly the first 2 quarters have been exquisite. This one hasn't been bad either.
Well, and I certainly think that Dan Hughes, with the practice time, able to put in some new looks and really emphasize where this team can be effective without Jewell Loyd on the floor. And it looks like it. They've really done a nice job today moving the basketball.
Skata Lewis, feed inside to Howard, tipped away. Should be 1 on the shot clock, however. Or are they going to give it to Dallas? They're going to give it to Dallas. They're going to say shot clock violation, turnover by Seattle. It's a 6th turnover by the Storm. Jordan Canada tonight, first career double-double. She now has 10 assists. So congratulations to Jordan in her second year, getting her first double-double of many, I would imagine.
5th overall pick last year and learned behind Sue Bird, won a WNBA championship, and boy, has she played well in Sue Bird's absence.
Glory Johnson gets it to roll. She's 4 of 7, 9 points and 5 rebounds. Canada pushing Davis the other way. A lot of contact there. Shavonte Zealous was trying to catch it, and she got an inadvertent arm across the face there, I believe on Alicia Gray. 4th team foul on Dallas. Seattle inbound, free throw line extended far side.
Just getting smacked right upside the head.
Speaking of smacking somebody upside the head, Courtney Paris will do that inside when she's trying to get a rebound. You better watch out. She comes into the game.
Good minutes from Mercedes Russell.
Absolutely.
Really just growing here in her second year as a player.
Skata Lewis. Oh, the feed. How about the catch from Tasha Howard? How did she get that? The Zealous now. 5 on shot clock. Gets a hip check screen from Paris. The high arcing rainbow. Why not? Everything else is going in. 74-47. Seattle back up 27.
Well, Dallas has lost 13 straight games on the road, and they look well on their way to 14 in this one. Seattle is just dominating in every aspect of this game.
Davis too strong. Canada, who's been pushing the tempo all game long, gets into the lane. Oh, how about the reversal there? And a foul on McGee Stafford, and Canada made sure she sold that one, and Jordan's going to go to the free throw line for 2. See how much
this
contact
last possession, it was Shavonte Zealous, knowing the shot clock was about ready to expire, had to let it go, and then gets it over the top of the defense with that high arching 3.
So Canada, 12 points, 10 assists on 4 of 8, and now she's got 13.
A really well-played game. The assist-to-turnover ratio for Jordan Canada is what is going to be the biggest part of her game moving forward. And the 10 assists are, a really good number for Jordan Canada, but it's also the assist-to-turnover ratio. I mean, she gets in the lane and creates and try to do and does some things, and when she takes care of the basketball, I'm telling you, she will be one of the best point guards in this league.
No question. Cardi Williams back in the game. There's Davis. Taking it to the corner. 3 ball in the way. Knocking it down. Glory Johnson.
Paris getting called for the moving screen. You see Courtney's face. She's like, what? And he's like, I don't need to move to have a good screen. I'll tell you, if there's a player that you do not want to get hit with a screen, it's Courtney Paris.
That's right. That's what we were talking about when she came into the game. There's no question.
Oh, my word.
Well, you were talking about the assist-to-turnover ratio for Canada. It's about as good as it can get.
10-0.
The only way you can get better is 11-0.
0 turnovers. Well, that's when you really know that your offense is working. It's not, you can have 10 assists and you can be a really good floor general, but if you have 6 turnovers, 7 turnovers to go with it, you're not being efficient. For Jordan Canada, double-figure scoring, double figures assists, no turnovers. It's an epic game for the second-year player out of UCLA.
Johnson, sidewinding looking three that time, but it goes down, and Glory Johnson's really been the offense here tonight. 15 points, 6 of 9, has hit 3 threes. Canada with 10, jab step. Now we'll back in the smaller guard. Kick it out to the corner, nicely done. Shavonte Zealous snuggles it in. What a nice job. How about Canada showing her versatility there? I'm going to post up a smaller guard and then send a seed out to the wing.
Got in the air, and most of the time you don't want to have your guards get in the air with the basketball still in their hands, but delivers a dime for her 11th assist of the game.
East Stafford no good on that one. Langhorne yanks it down. Inside 30 left. And Hughes says play for one. There's a 6-second differential in game and shot clock, so they can nearly take it down. Canada gets a high screen. Playing with so much confidence tonight. Zealous now. Wants Paris to come over and free her up. Zealous is hitting tonight, but this one goes off her knee. And one of the few turnovers for Seattle. That's their 8th on the game. 6 seconds left for McCarty Williams. Gets around the screen, goes all the way into the lane. You got to play better D than that if you're Seattle, but that's kind of been the story for Dallas tonight as they get a good drive all the way to the rim, and they haven't been able to put it down. 79-53 our score. All Seattle with 10 minutes left to go. There's some superstars on your screen. 79-53 our score. Final 10 minutes of action here in Seattle, where they're changing it actually to 78-53. They just reviewed a Shavonte Zealous 3, and they have called it a 2, so take one off the board for the Storm, a 25-point lead. And you'll see what the review was all about. And right there, her right toe.
Trying to get around the screen of Courtney Paris.
Yeah.
We're trying to look at the feet around Courtney Paris. Man, she is so good at blocking up space, but you did see the foot clearly on the line by Zealous, and that's 2.
Megan Rapinoe and Brianna Stewart enjoying this one. 2 of the
best
greatest athletes in the world. Yeah, no question about it. And we were mentioning at the beginning when Megan came out. I mean, is there a more recognizable face right now as far as who's been in the media the most in the world over the last week than Megan Rapinoe?
No, and dyeing her hair pink or purple, depending on the shade. It's kind of like the old dress, the blue versus tan.
Well,
or whatever.
she's at UW tonight, so we're going to call it purple. Yeah.
You know, that it certainly doesn't help her hide.
No, that's true.
It makes her even more recognizable.
She doesn't like to hide much.
No, she's got that star quality, that is for sure. And what a run by the women's national team. So much fun to watch them dominate.
Gumbe Wale, you're seeing the quick trigger that she has put out here in the second half. She had no field goals at halftime. And all of a sudden, she's got 13 points.
You talk about stars. She was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Huge shot in the NCAA championship, beating UConn and Mississippi State. And making it all the way to the championship last year as well.
Crystal Langhorne, you've been talking about the last few games. She has really been trying to improve her range.
Yeah, I love it. She's got such a good persona. Just a veteran presence on this team. And I'd love to see her in year 12 in the WNBA. Is it 12 or 13? I forget. She's been in this league and done such a fabulous job for this franchise.
12, yeah.
And her Krista Langhorn continuing to improve.
And Langhorn becomes
in her 30s. That's awesome.
Yeah, sixth different Storm player to hit a 3 tonight, and they are shooting 11 of 18, 61%. Skada Lewis drives in. It's been the drive and kick show for Seattle tonight. Langhorn thinks about it again. Glory Johnson pops out on her. And a traveling violation on Seattle, turnover number 9. "12 assists now for Canada. She continues to increase her output, and that's still, as we mentioned, Courtney Vandersloot had 12 tonight, which ties for second most in the WNBA this season. So Jordan Canada might be up there in rarefied air here pretty soon.
Well, clearly her career high. And that'd be fun to see her. 8.5 minutes to go. Let's see what she can do.
Spinning and hitting is Gustafson.
Yeah, I love the perseverance from Gustafson. The National Player of the Year, the Naismith Award winner out of Iowa. Got cut and then re-signed. And it's such a hard period when you get done and you're like, can I make it in this league? And she's done some nice things for Dallas since signing.
Gumbawale forcing her way through and getting the foul picked up. Chelsea Gray of Los Angeles, Elise, has 13 assists in a game just this week against Washington. So one away for Jordan Canada. She sits right now and potentially could be done for the night, but Dan may give her another couple minutes of run. And Blake Dietrich gets in there, hustling with the defense. Seattle's got it. And loose ball foul.
Seattle will come back on this long homestand and have the New York Liberty on Sunday at 4 p.m. And then they'll head to Minnesota. So Seattle did not take care of business the way they would have liked to, losing 3 in a row at home. But we sure would like to finish with 2 wins in a row over this weekend.
Skatem Lewis misses the 3. Davis working her way inside. Back out to Gumbawale. Davis, Glory Johnson, that side saddle 3. It's awkward looking, but it goes down, and she's got 18 points tonight on 7 of 10 from the field. She's hit 4 triples.
Good game for her individually.
Yeah, and it hasn't just been threes for her either. She's hit some tough shots in the 15-foot range, too. Offensive foul on Seattle. There's another turnover. Now they're in double figures. You know, they only have 6 fewer turnovers than Dallas, but it feels like they have 26 fewer turnovers than Dallas.
Those live ball turnovers, the steals are what really kill you. You throw the ball out of bounds and your defense can go back and get set. It's not nearly as, just debilitating as when you throw it to the other team and they shoot lay-in after lay-in.
There you see the strength of Kayla Davis. I mean, when I did a game when Kayla was in college at South Carolina, I did an NCAA tournament game, and I was just blown away at her physicality, just her body and her dexterity, what she's able to do with the ball as big as she is. And right on cue, she missed the layup. She was right on cue there, Elise, and she missed the layup.
That's a beautiful move to get underneath, trying to reverse it up and under, but left it short. It would have been a big bucket. I know you're looking up and it's an 18-point lead right now, but 6.5 minutes to go. Stranger things have happened.
Zealous can't make it a bigger margin. We've been up to 21. Gumbawale, shake, and almost get it up. Gets her own rebound, though. And Gumbawale has really taken the scoring load here in the second half. As we mentioned, she was 0 for 2 from the field at halftime, but she is 4 for 5 here from the field in the second half, and now has a chance to get her 14th and 15th point.
Right on her average of 14. This is after putting up a goose egg in the first 20 minutes.
Rookie of the month for the month of June. Leads all rookies in scoring. And she's got 8 20-point games as Mercedes Russell comes back in, and who knows, Arike, the way she scores, she could very easily have a 20-point game tonight. She only needs 6 more, make it 5 more now for a 20-point game.
And Hughes going back to his starters after this nice run by Dallas. Natasha Howard back in the game. Mercedes Russell, Sammy Whitcomb trying to get some momentum.
Russell inside, going to Mosqueda Lewis. We were seeing that extra pass being made in the first half, and now we see it again. So all the starters in the game, with the exception of Blake, the guard tandem, Dietrich and Mosqueda Lewis. Oh, Gumbawala, nice move there, in and out. Russell now to Dietrich. Yeah, you're right. That would have made it a 15-point game. Still some time left. Mosqueda Lewis can't get it to go. Russell fighting her way in there, but gets her shot blocked. Matchup of Gumbawale with Dietrich on her. I think that's probably where you want to go if you're Brian Agler. That's not the shot you wanted if you're Brian Agler. A fadeaway from 15.
Lead scorer of the nation last year, Megan Gustafson. Had an eye on the bucket, but was off balance.
Well, if you're Dallas right now, you've got to get the Rookie of the Year, potentially the Rookie of the Year, the basketball with the Storm's backup guard guarding her right now. Force Blake Dietrich to make a play defensively. There's the switch. Gumbawale off the front iron, tipped around. Howard comes up with the rebound.
Riki has such a unique delivery. She'll go to her left and kind of off balance, slide the shot off. She gets that thing to go consistently. Oh,
Mosqueda Lewis after a big screen. And Natasha Howard goes down hard.
No desire to go around the screen. Just go right through it.
4:32 left. Seattle by 18. There's Doppler. He's having a good time with the kids tonight. It's the Seattle Children's Doppler Train. Seattle Children's a proud sponsor of the Doppler Train. It's a Seattle Storm tradition. Seattle Children's mission is to provide hope, care, and cures to help every child live the healthiest and most fulfilling life possible. Kids got to come down and join the fun. Fourth quarter timeout every game. Seattle Storm get to walk around the Doppler, and kids do it all the time. 83-65 our score, 4 and change left to go. As we clear the court of our Doppler train kids, we had a few kids not exactly know which direction to go. There's Jordan Canada, who has 12 assists tonight in the league. Look good. Here's, I got a list of most assists in a game by a Seattle Storm player. Sue Bird has the record with 14.
Take a look at the towel. I don't think she's going to be coming back in this game, but I mean, it's not just that. It's the 12 assists, 0 turnovers, and 5 steals. And for the first half, she shut down Arike Gumbawale, the leading scorer for Dallas. So you add the 14 points in there, and what a game by the second-year point guard.
Kayla Davis muscling her way to the basket. You can see, I mean, obviously this is one of Dallas's worst games of the season, but you see the talent that they have, even though they're down 4 players. I mean, Kayla Davis has got so much strength and versatility. Glory Johnson is a veteran, multi-time All-Star. And then Arike Gumbawale, she's going to be one of the better guards in this league for a long time.
They just need to get their squad healthy.
Gumbawale got a little Cappy Pondexter in her. You see a little Cappy in early years.
Undersized, strong guard, creative, for sure.
Ooh, nice fake there, but couldn't get the bucket. Offensive rebound taken down, and it's still Dallas basketball. Gumbawale stepping back on Russell on the switch. She forces it up and in. Gumbawale with 17 now.
And that one is getting in the lane and creating. Not knowing what you're going to do, just knowing that with your body control and finding a little bit of space to get your shot off, you can score it.
Inside Natasha. That's a beautiful move. She can't get it to go. Snatched down by Dallas. Dallas still working with all their starters. Down by 17. Brian Brian Agler says, hey, we still got a pulse here. Davis, 3 on the way. Good. They've been hitting their threes in the second half, no question. They are 10 of 17 for the game. And at halftime, they were just 3 of 8. So they are 7 of 9 here from three-point range in the second half. Sammy finding Russell inside. Oh, the block shot. A nice one there.
Timed that perfectly. Davis getting off the ground so quickly to erase Russell at 6'6".
Davis knocking over Dietrich, and an offensive foul as Dietrich takes one right in the chops.
Yeah, she is.
Check on her.
She is down. And looks like some serious pain for Blake Dietrich, just trying to catch her breath. It's good to see her smiling.
Yeah.
It's taken a second to collect herself.
We're going to take a quick timeout. Let Dietrich compose herself, and we'll get back for the final 2:43 right after this. Join us Sunday, July 14th for Pacific Northwest Day at 4 o'clock. Watch your Storm take on the New York Liberty on Carter Subaru Court at Alaska Airlines Arena. Secure your seats at stormbasketball.com. 86-72. Welcome back to Seattle. Final 2:43 of this one. Dick Fain along with Elise Woodward. Seattle's season best field goal percentage was against Minnesota on June the 4th. They shot 53.8%. And tonight they're at 55.2, 32 of 58. So they have a chance to eclipse that. The 12 of 21 from three-point range is really helping that. They are at 57% and 10 of 12 from the free throw line. Their best three-point shooting day was 56%. So they're eclipsing Dublin, and we've got a flagrant foul that Blake Dietrich's going to take care of right here. And she knocks them both down. So Seattle basketball.
And all the momentum for Dallas in this fourth quarter. They have outscored Seattle 19-8 before those 2 free throws from Dietrich. So this game looks to be in hand with a 16-point lead and just over 2.5 to play. You still want to finish strong and carry momentum into that Sunday contest with New York if you're Seattle.
Dietrich, high post to Courtney Paris. Lena comes to get it with 10 on the shot clock. Driving the lane, back out to Dietrich. Still looking for her first field goal as a member of the Storm. She's got an opportunity here. She puts it up. She runs into traffic, though. She probably could have pulled up from 20 feet, and she instead decided to run her. Wale gets ripped from behind by Dietrich, but they say a little too much contact there. That is team foul number 4 on the Storm. We're going to chat with Jordan Canada courtside after this one. She is our player of the game, 14 points and a career high 12 assists, 12 of the 25 Seattle assists. Brian Agler's yelling, wait a second, that should be 5 fouls and a bonus situation and not 4. We're going to make sure they get the right total there. All of our computers here at the sidelines as well as the scoreboard say 4.
Yeah.
So Brian must have seen something ahead of time. Seattle will take on, as we mentioned, New York on Sunday. After taking care of business in the final 2:03 here, they will get to over 500 again at 9-8 and snap that 3-game losing streak. They had scored 67 or less in 4 of the last 6 games, but broke out of it nicely tonight with over 50 in the first. They had the highest scoring first half of their season. Looks like there is a bonus situation for Agumbawale. They get the time clock fixed at 2:09. We got Agumbawale at the line, and here we go. And the first free throw is good.
I mean, It's actually really impressive. In a 15-point game, Brian Agler, you think about how many decisions and things he's keeping track of, things he has his eye on, to remember that it is the 15th foul and not the 14th foul.
And I got to give
you, his mind is always on.
And I got to give his son Bryce some credit, too, because Bryce popped off the bench like he got stung by a bee, and he ran up and started yelling, 5-5-5. So, nice job to Brian Agler's son, Bryce, who's the assistant coach on the Dallas team. Crystal Langel on the 6 on the shot clock. Loses handle of it, stripped away. In a 14-point game. Johnson to Agumbawale. Catch into the corner. Kayla Davis sets, fires, and can't knock that one down. Courtney Paris usually comes up with those in the scrum, and she does.
I said she has the strongest hands in the league. She's got her hands in it. You are not going to rip it away.
Beecham, big old screen there. There's the roll after the screen. Paris backing into Thornton. And a double dribble. Is that what the call was? Brian Agler wants to take a timeout and talk this over with 1:18 left in a 14-point game. And important for Dallas to finish strong so you can take a little something out of this. Obviously, they're not going to win the game, but they can chop this down into single digits and feel a little bit good about how they played in the fourth quarter tonight. Don't forget, coming up Sunday, national TV coverage, Vegas and Atlanta. That's a 3 o'clock start Eastern time in Atlanta. A couple games on NBA TV this week. You got Dallas at Phoenix. It's 3:30 Eastern time. I mentioned Bryce Agler's son, Brian, one of the assistant coaches for Dallas. Another one of the assistant coaches, Crystal Robinson. How about that? Now Dallas Wings assistant coach. She gets the bling, and that thing is absolutely gorgeous. Crystal was here last year, is going to wear that with pride, getting it from team executive Alicia Valavanis. Wow, absolutely fantastic.
The look on her face when they open that box up.
Giddy,
I will tell you, the Storm ownership, kudos.
Spared no
Those
expense.
are some absolutely gorgeous rings, and every one of those players will have that as a momentum of all the hard work. But boy, you mentioned it. Those are full of a lot of diamonds.
That's right. Here's Sammy Wickham back in the game, and she ends the game just like she started the game, picking off passes. Wickham throws it off the back of Agumbawale. So Seattle's been sloppy in the fourth, but they have not had Jordan Canada in either since the 8-minute mark, and that has something to do with it. And they're going to say foul on Sammy Wickham. That'll send Agumbawale back to the line. And now Enrique's got a chance at her 9th 20-point game of the season.
And it just kind of shows you what a scorer she is. And that is that she did not put up a single point in the first 20 minutes of this game. Went into intermission, went in the locker room and was looking at 0 points and knew her team had to get her going. She needed to score for this team to feel good about this game and get back in it. And they've performed much better here in the second half. They were dead offensively. Now they put 75 points on the board, and she's a big reason why. 20 in the game here in the second half.
And a 4-point possession there. Brian Agler wants to take another timeout. It's a 10-point game. I'm wondering if, you put Canada back in the game here? Just to kind of settle things down a little bit?
No, there's 48 seconds to go. You have a 10-point lead. I think for Seattle, you just, take care of the basketball here.
Hey, fans, customize your own 10-ticket flex plan starting at just $250. 10 tickets. You pick the games, how many tickets you want to use for each game. For more information, visit stormbasketball.com or call 206-217-WNBA. That's 206-217-9622. You want a big party of 10 people to come to the next game? Go for it. You want to just go by yourself to the next 10 games? You can go by yourself to the next 10 games. Gotta love the flex plan. The WNBA high, by the way, for assists without a turnover. Jennifer Rosati, 14 assists, no turnovers. Way back in 2002 with the Cleveland Rockers. And then Sue did it as well in an overtime game with 13 assists and no turnovers. And Jordan tonight with 12 assists and no TO. Langhorne, the final dagger. There it is. There it is. She's telling her old coach, hey, Brian, you want to call a timeout in a 10-point game? I'm going to make it a 13-point game.
I just love it, her knocking down another 3-ball.
And there's an answer, Agumbawale.
23 now for Agumbawale. Her career high is 25.
She was 0 for 2 at halftime. That's how red hot she can get. No question about it.
And she is listed at 5'8". She's down on the floor in pregame warm-up, and boy, that's pretty generous. I mean, it just shows you the knack that she has for putting the ball in the bucket. She's one of the smallest players in this league, and she's got the ball in her hands, she plays big.
We're going to play the foul game right now. 10-point game with 23.7 left. Last 5 games at least, Seattle 39 of 144 from 3. That's a lot of threes taken, not a lot of threes made, just 26%. Tonight, 13 of 22. So tonight they were taking them a lot again, but this time they were making them. Both teams shooting really well from three-point range. I mean, this is the best three-point shooting game we've seen all year from two teams. They are combined 25 or 41 from three-point range. How about Courtney Paris with the rebound? No, can't get it to go. 19 seconds left in an 11-point game. Thornton's got it. She'll drive in and throw it right back to Paris. I don't think there'll be any more fouling, will there? No. Mosqueda Lewis. She says, I'm going to keep playing. You got to keep playing and keep fouling. I'm going to keep playing and keep shooting. And she knocks it down there. Another 3 for Seattle with 2, with 1. And that will do it. 92-84, the final score. The Seattle Storm get the win over Brian Agler and the Dallas Wings here. We'll be back with Jordan Canada, our player of the game.